Lies of P was presented during the Summer Games Fest by Jeff Keighley as a self-proclaimed Soulsborne game. What stood out to me the most during the presentation was the graphical style of the game. It looks like Bloodborne, it looks like Souls games, so if you're a fan of those gothic style games, you're going to be a fan of this game as well, as the graphical style is 10 out of 10. The environments are absolutely breathtaking. I found myself multiple times just walking slowly, panning the camera around 360 degrees just to take in all the sights. It's nice to know that games are starting to look a little bit more next gen. I was worried there for a while because I felt like the graphical fidelity in games kind of took a back seat. But with Lies of P, the game runs buttery smooth on my PC, especially with DLSS enabled. So you start the game and you immediately start playing as a puppet created by Geppetto. Run through this corridor section on the train and you can pick up a sword, and there you pick your combat style between balanced, dexterity, and strength. For my demo playthrough, I went with balanced. You come across the first set of basic enemies, and right then and there you'll notice the similarities between Soulsborne games and this game. The enemies move slow, but when they connect their hits, they take off a lot of damage from you. You are equipped with your light and heavy strikes, in addition to being able to block. And I actually really like how they handled the blocking system in this game. You see, you can block all the hits you want, sure, except for obviously the unblockable hits that are lit up in red, but when you do block hits, you lose health. You'll build up a meter as you block attacks, and in order to get the health you lost by blocking back, you're gonna have to release some attacks on enemies, and that meter you've accumulated will then be applied back towards health. To take blocking even a step further, the game rewards you if you're able to accomplish perfect parries. Sure, normal enemies, you can block their attacks and you won't really lose that much health, but for boss fights, perform perfect parries where you press block at just the moment of impact and you won't receive any damage, therefore accomplishing the perfect parry. I think that's pretty cool. Blocking has more of a purpose in this game. Finish off enough enemies and you'll earn some currency that you can use to spend at the shop and buy items and equipment. This game has projectiles you can throw or other items where you can imbue your weapon with electricity, for example, providing you with more options for combat than just light and heavy attacks. Mix and match things to find the style that works best for you. In addition to being able to buy stuff at the shop with this game's currency called Ergo, you'll be able to use that same currency to level up your stats, which I actually found to be quite expensive. The good thing is if you die during a boss fight, it'll actually leave your currency right before the door where you open the boss room, enabling you to just pick that back up, go to a shop, and buy what you need instead of losing everything. I forgot to mention that you do have your classic dodge move or roll move during combat, in addition to the blocking. The combat in general is quick and responsive. You're able to switch between items that you need on the fly using the directional pad, and I found it very intuitive. You won't be really clunking around menus trying to get items that you need. My one criticism about the combat is that sometimes I found myself stuck behind invisible objects. I was kind of stuck on something and then I got damaged because of it, unable to roll out of the way in time. Other than that, I found the combat pretty enjoyable. I'm not a huge fan of this type of combat, but I had a good time. I also read a few Steam reviews of people complaining that the parry window was too small, even smaller than Sekiro, so take that for what it is. You're gonna feel right at home with the exploration in this game if you're a fan of Souls games. From what I can tell so far in the demo, they really didn't add anything too innovative in the exploration. It's your typical go through one linear path in order to unlock a door, which leads back closer to your spawn point. This way, if you die, you can use that newly unlocked door to kind of proceed and progress through there, and you can skip, that initial exploration that you did to this point. But yeah, that's the gist of it so far during the demo. I know that they're touting a story where it's kind of like Pinocchio-ish story, but unfortunately, these games aren't really known for their story. I'm not playing this game for the story. I'm more playing this type of game for the combat, to know that it's difficult throughout the whole game, and that's the gameplay mechanic, right? It's not really about puzzles, it's not about exploration, it's about how well you can fight, how well you can manage your items, how well you can remember what you need to do in certain combat situations. And I think that's what people play these games for. I don't think people play these games for the story. So to knock it for a lack of story would be silly, and to knock it for a lack of exploration as well would be silly. Would it be nice to see games like this incorporate other elements, story, exploration, and things like that? Of course. Yeah, that'll do it for my review. That was just a demo. Will I be playing this when it comes out full release? Probably not. If it's on Game Pass, which I'm hearing rumbles that it is on Game Pass, then yeah, I'll pick it up. Of course, I have a Game Pass. Why not? You'd be dumb not to check it out, right? So if you made it this far, guys, and you enjoyed the review, make sure to subscribe. It really supports the channel. And make sure to like the video, leave me a comment, letting me know what you think about the game, if you plan on picking it up, if this is your cup of tea or not. Be safe. I'll see you on the next one.